Hello students, hope so you are doing well. This is class 3 psychrometric chapter. So in the previous class 2 I did the problems on psychrometric, that is without using psychrometric chart. Let us continue the problems. So one or two problems, then we will go for psychrometric chart. So what is problem 5 says? So for a given sample of atmospheric air at 35 degrees Celsius and 60% RH means relative humidity, 7.8 grams of moisture per kg are removed. Okay. So after removing the moisture, the temperature reduces to 22 degrees Celsius. So for this condition, after removing, we need to find a relative humidity pi and a dew point temperature. So first of all, we need to understand there are two things are given here. One is before removing moisture, what is my conditions, and after removing the moisture, what is my conditions we need to find. So two cases. One is before removing moisture, what exactly he has given? He has given dry bulb temperature 35, 60% RH. Then for this condition, we need to find the specific humidity. So if I show you the simple diagram, so atmospheric air. So for that atmospheric air, so before removing the moisture, so the condition has gone 35, 60, okay, and we need to find specific humidity for this. So we know the equation pi is equal to PV by PS. So PS, that is saturation pressure. So that we will get corresponding to dry bulb temperature 35 degrees Celsius from steam tables. So therefore we will get PS is equal to 0.5623 bar from steam table. That is, we need to refer temperature basis table. Then when you see temperature basis table corresponding to 35 degrees Celsius, we are going to get the value, the pressure value. So therefore the pi has given, B indicates it is, pi B indicates it is before removing the moisture. We need to find the conditions. So therefore 0.6 is equal to PV by 0.05623 bar. Therefore we are getting partial pressure of water vapor. After getting partial pressure of water vapor, that you substitute in the equation, that is WB is equal to 0.622 PV by PB minus PV. So we are going to get this in terms of kg per kg, that is 0.02142 kg per kg of dry air. So that again we need to convert, because in the problem he has given 7.8 grams of moisture has to be removed. So if he has given in terms of grams, so convert this kg per kg into grams also. Otherwise the problem becomes wrong, because both should be in terms of grams or both should be in terms of kgs. So in the problem he has given grams, so convert kg to grams. Therefore WB is equal to 0.02142 kg per kg to grams we need to convert. Divided by 1000, if I put it 21.42 grams per kg of dry air, we will get it. So this is the condition, that is for before removing the moisture. After removing 7.8 grams, what is my new conditions? Again we need to find new conditions. Again I need to find PV, okay. Again I need to find that is relative humidity. Already W is given, that is 7.8 grams he has given. So for this again we need to find partial pressure of water vapor PV, dew point temperature and relative humidity. So he has given dry bulb temperature. So what are the new conditions we can find? That is W is equal to, because 7.8 grams of moisture is removed out of total, okay. So 21.42 minus 7.8, I will get the, after removing moisture, that is 7.8 grams, 13.626 grams per kg of dry air. So again convert that into kg of kg, because in equation, the equation W is equal to 0.622, that will be in terms of always kg per kg. Just remember this. When he has given grams W, convert that into kg per kg. Always in this equation, it should be in terms of kg per kg. Fine. So therefore, again for this condition, new conditions PV we need to find. W is equal to 0.622 PV by PV minus PV. So W it should be in terms of kg per kg. 0.0136 is equal to 0.622 into PV by, that is barometric pressure. You have to assume that value 1.013 minus PV. So therefore PV is equal to, so 0.01359 bar. So again we need to find dew point temperature. So therefore PV is equal to at PV is equal to, so you have to refer pressure basis table. You have to refer pressure basis table. So where is exactly 0.01359 bar is there? So corresponding to that you have to refer, or you have to find temperature. That is, temperature will be, it is not dBT, sorry, it is a dew point temperature. So make a correction, it is not a dBT, it is a dPT, that is dew point temperature is 11.5 degree Celsius. Hope so the problem is clear. Now let us move on to the next problem, that is problem number 6. A mixture of dry air and water vapor is at a temperature 20 degrees Celsius under a total pressure. He has given total pressure 730 mm of Hg. So previous we have assumed as 1.013 bar, but here he has given pressure as 730 mm of Hg. So we need to convert this 730 mm of Hg to bar. Okay. So we'll see how exactly we can convert that 730 mm of Hg to bar. So dew point temperature he has given. So if he has given dew point temperature, directly we are going to get PV value. Okay, because in previous problems we have seen. So how exactly we can find, if I want a dew point temperature value, so corresponding to which pressure we have to refer PV. Okay, so corresponding to PV we are going to get dew point temperature, but in this problem he has given direct dew point temperature. So we can find directly, that is PV you can find directly from steam tables. So we have to find partial pressure PV, relative humidity pi, specific humidity W, specific volume. Okay, then enthalpy of mixture we need to find. So let us find one by one. So given that is dew point dry bulb temperature 20, dew point temperature 14. So barometric pressure 730 mm of Hg is given. So first point PV. So I told you he has given dew point temperature. So directly we can find from steam tables. So from steam tables at dew point temperature means temperature basis table you have to see. So very exactly 14 degrees Celsius. So at 14 degrees Celsius directly we can find from steam tables PV is equal to 0.0159, so 77 bar. Second bit, relative humidity pi is equal to PV by PS. PV already it is known, PS we have to find. So corresponding to what? Corresponding to dry bulb temperature we need to find 20 degrees Celsius directly from temperature basis table. We have to refer temperature basis table. So PS is equal to 0.02337 bar. So directly we will get pi is equal to 68.35%. Then third bit, specific humidity we need to find, W is equal to 0.6622 into PV by PB minus PV. So told you in problem he has given barometric pressure, that is total pressure 730 mm of Hg he has given. Convert, you need to convert this into bar. So how exactly we can convert this to bar? So we know that 1 bar is equal to, it is a standard atmospheric pressure 760 mm of Hg. Always standard atmospheric pressure will be in terms of millimeters of mercury column, always it will be 760. Okay, so 1 atmospheric pressure we know 1.01325 bar. This is also standard atmospheric pressure. So if I want to find the barometric pressure, okay, so 1.01325 bar divided by 760, that is standard, into 730. Okay, unit gets cancels there. So if I do the calculation, I will get the barometric pressure or total pressure will be in terms of bar 0.973 bar. Clear? So this is what the units we need to follow when he has given in terms of millimeters of mercury column. Otherwise directly we can substitute the value, that is PB as 1.013 bar. So therefore W is equal to 0.622 into PB by PB minus PV. W is equal to 0.622 into 0.15. PV already we have find in previous calculation. So PB we have find minus PV. So therefore W is equal to 0.01038 kg per kg of dry air. Always this will be in kg per kg of dry air. So fourth bit will be specific volume of air we need to find. So we know the relation PAVA is equal to RATA, PV is equal to RT relation, gas law. Here R we have to remember, that is 287 kilojoules per kg or 0.287 joule per kg it will come. Okay, units are very important. I had done a unit conversion there. So therefore, VA we need to find, because I want specific volume of air, RA TA by PA. That is, RA will be 0.2, that is 287 kilojoules per kg, into, that is TA temperature, that is 273 plus 20, divided by PA. According to Dalton's law, total pressure is equal to the dry air plus the water vapor. I have written there. So PB is equal to PA plus PB. It is a by Dalton's law. So again, from that, what is exactly PA? So PA is equal to PB minus PB. So that is what in previous term I have written. PA can be written as PB minus PB. Okay. So PB is known, PB is known. Okay. That you have to convert into Newton per meter square, because specific volume should get in terms of meter cube per kg. Okay. So top written I have written there in front of that equation. That is R kilojoules per kg divided by pressure will be kilonewton per meter square. That we have to write into 10 raised to 5 kilonewton per meter square. So again, K, that is joule, can be written as Newton meter divided by kg divided by kilonewton per meter square. Kilonewton gets cancelled. So therefore, this meter square goes upper side, meter cube per kg. So always, this is what the conversion you have to make it. So volume should be in terms of, specific volume should be in terms of meter cube per kg. So we need to follow, R value should be in 287 kilojoules per kg. Not sometimes if you put 0.287, the digits it will change and answer will become wrong. So therefore, R should be 287 kilojoules per kg. Fine. So therefore, VA is equal to 0.879 meter cube per kg of dry air. The fifth bit, we need to remember this equation, that is enthalpy of mixture. There is no particular derivation for this. Therefore, H is equal to 1.022 TD. TD indicates dry temperature plus W is specific humidity. That is HF dP. This is called as latent heat of vaporization, HF dP, plus 2.3 dry bulb temperature, or sorry, dew point temperature. Or the equation can also be written as 1.005 TD, dry bulb temperature, plus specific humidity W, 2500. If you refer steam tables, HFDP, that will come 2500 plus 1.88 dry bulb temperature. So at the most, you can remember this equation, that is 1.005 TD. This second equation, you try to remember this. If I want enthalpy of mixture, so 1.005 into 20, substitute all those equations already we have done in previous calculation. Therefore, H is equal to 46.44 kilojoules per kg. So this is what the simple problems when there is an enthalpy of mixture is asked here. Now let us move on to the next problem. That is the dry bulb temperature, problem number 7. The dry bulb temperature 35, relative humidity 60. The pressure of air directly is given. Otherwise, if this value is not given 1.013, you can remember this. Otherwise, it is a total pressure of air. Okay. Determine specific humidity, vapor pressure of air. This is first case. If 5 grams of water vapor is removed from air and temperature is reduced to 25. So 35 is reduced to 25. If 5 grams of water vapor is removed. So at this condition, we need to find relative humidity and dew point temperature. So the same concept problem I did in previous problem number 5. So based upon that, you can remember those relations. So solution, what is the given dry bulb temperature 35, pi he has given 60. So barometric pressure he has given 1.013 bar. If he has not given, you can remember this, or you can assume this value. So to find, what you have to find, that is for this condition, W is equal to W, specific humidity we have to find, and partial pressure of water vapor PV we need to find. Fine. So what is the first condition? So we know that pi is equal to PV by PS. So PS again, dry bulb temperature 35 degrees Celsius, from steam tables directly we can find PS. So once PS is known, PV we can find, because relative humidity has given, so PV we can find 0.0343 bar. So we can find W. W is equal to, for that equation, 0.622 PV by PV minus PV, or 0.6622 into PV already we have found, the barometric pressure is known, so everything is known. W will come in terms of kg per kg. So convert that into, because in problem he has given grams, 5 grams he has given, so convert that into grams. Only particularly in the problem if he gives grams, we can find, or we can put it in terms of grams. Otherwise no need to put it in terms of grams. If in problem specifically if he gives 5 grams of water vapor is removed, or 7 grams of water vapor is removed, so at that condition only you try to put it in terms of grams, otherwise no need. So therefore W is equal to 23.8 grams per kg we need to find. So if 5, this is second case, 5 grams of water vapor is removed from air, so total we know 23.8 minus 5 grams, you can remove 18.8 grams per kg. So for again these conditions we need to find PV, dew point temperature, and pi we need to find. So therefore W is equal to 0.62 PV by 1.013 minus PV. So W, I told you, always W, that equation will be in terms of, that is kg per kg. So again that 18.8 grams you need to convert into, that is kg per kg. So divide by 1000. So PV I'll get it. So again pi we need to find, PV is equal to PV by PS from steam tables again at 25 degrees Celsius, because he has given on the problem. Don't put for 35 degrees Celsius, because when 5 grams of water vapor is removed, again temperature will reduce to 25. So corresponding to that 25 we need to find. So if you put again for 35 diabolical temperature 35, again problem will become wrong. Okay, because this is 5 grams of water vapor is removed. So at that condition we have to take corresponding to the temperature 25 degrees Celsius. So therefore PS is equal to 0.0323 bar, therefore pi is equal to 85%. So last one, dew point temperature. So at PV is equal to, already PV, partial pressure of water vapor, is known to me, 0.0286 bar. So from steam tables you will get dew point temperature as 23 degrees Celsius. I hope the problems are clear to you. This is the 7 problems, whatever the 7 problems I did, this is without using psychrometric chart we have to do. So clearly in exam he will mention without using psychrometric chart. If he mention, specifically he will mention, okay, then we need to find, okay, by calculations method. So you have to remember nearly about 5 to 6 equations. So already I have given in class 2, I have given the list of equations. Just go through that list of equation, then corresponding to that you can solve the problem. Fine. Hope so the problems are clear. Next we will move on to the psychrometric chart. So in class 1 I have given introduction regarding what are terms, psychrometric terms, and what are the psychrometric processes. I have not given introduction about psychrometric processes. So the terms I have defined, the based upon terms, okay, I have obtained the relations, psychrometric relations, what is degree of saturation, what is specific humidity, what is dew point temperature, what is relative humidity. So all those terms with relations we have seen, that is by calculations we have seen. Same that calculations, we can reduce that calculations. Directly we can refer, or we can find directly pi, directly W, directly dry bulb temperature, okay, directly the saturation temperature, everything values directly we can obtain from the chart. Okay, so in order to reduce the burden of these calculations, okay, we can directly find from steam tables. Sorry, we can directly find from psychrometric chart. So what is this psychrometric chart? It says, as the calculations of various properties of moist air are tedious and time consuming, Okay, all the essential data for complete thermodynamic and psychrometric analysis of air conditioning processes can be summarized and can be represented in the form of chart. Okay, so we can reduce the calculation because it is a time consuming. So every calculation will be a time consuming. So therefore directly we can refer this chart in order to save the time. Okay, so such a chart which makes it possible to obtain necessary information readily for engineering calculations related to moisture known as a psychrometric chart. A psychrometric chart is constructed for a given pressure, mixture pressure, using dry bulb temperature, specific humidity as the coordinates. So you can see how exactly this psychrometric chart will be available. This same chart will be produced or it will be given in exam. So already I told you in first class, the chart will be provided for you in main exam, or there is one data handbook will be provided for you, that is Nijiguna. So in last but one page this chart will be available for you. So based upon this chart you can calculate whatever the properties of moist air, that is dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, saturation, dew point temperature. Okay, so you can obtain specific volume, you can obtain the enthalpy of mixture H. So whatever the like previous problems we have done by calculation, everything we can find from the chart, directly from chart we can obtain. So you can see the psychrometric chart, it is from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. So you can see the x-axis will be for dry bulb temperature, blue color, blue letters you can see. X-axis will be from minus 10 degrees Celsius to up to 55 degrees Celsius. Units will be there, or scale will be there, and there is specific volume lines will be there. You can see slightly inclined lines. Okay, so it ranges from 0.8 to 0.9 specific volume lines. So you can refer, you can see wet bulb or saturation temperature. Okay, there is one curve will be there, slightly inclined curves. So that is called a saturation curve. So enthalpy lines you can see, it will be in kilojoules per kg of dry air. Relative humidity pi values, curve lines are called as relative humidity lines. In detail I'll try to explain. So specific humidity line on right hand side of y axis, those are called as specific humidity lines. So this is what the chart will be provided for you in order to obtain different properties of the psychrometrics. Now you can see the skeleton. He may ask, draw the skeleton of psychrometric chart. So how exactly the psychrometric chart will be obtained? So what are the different like processes will be there? In coming slides I'll try to explain what are the different processes. Okay, then you can see sensible cooling, sensible heating, cooling and humidification, heating and humidification. Okay, these are the different like properties of psychrometric chart. So in exam if you have skeleton, specifically draw the skeleton of psychrometric chart, indicate the points of humidification, indicate the points of dehumidification, indicate the points of sensible heating, indicate the points of sensible cooling and dehumidification. You have to draw this skeleton. Okay, fine. So at a given mixture pressure, the vapor pressure PV is a function of specific humidity. Okay, so this is you can see the enthalpy lines. So enthalpy lines corresponding to wet bulb temperature lines. So you can see wet bulb temperature, fully inclined lines. Okay, wet bulb temperature lines are there, fully inclined lines. So corresponding to wet bulb temperature lines only you can obtain enthalpy. So dotted lines, it is specific volume lines. Okay, then dry bulb temperature x-axis and specific humidity y-axis. Then there is one saturation curve will be there. On this saturation curve you can obtain the values for wet bulb temperature, dew point temperature. Okay, so in coming slides I'll try to explain. And there is one single curve will be there, that is pi curve, that is a relative humidity curve. Okay. Now let us understand what are the different psychrometric the properties. So in calculations we have seen dry bulb temperature. So in psychrometric chart how exactly the lines will be obtained. So dry bulb temperature lines. So dry bulb temperature lines, that is you can already we know the psychrometric chart. So dry bulb temperature, it is the vertical lines. Okay. So vertical lines are called as dry bulb temperature lines. Okay. So you can refer a scale is there. Okay. So if I want 30 degrees, 35 degrees Celsius, go to x-axis. There exactly can obtain dry bulb temperature values. Then wet bulb temperature lines, the fully inclined lines, the orange color lines you can see. One is vertical lines, we have seen dry bulb temperature. So fully inclined lines, orange color lines if you see, those are wet bulb temperature lines. So wet bulb temperature lines can be marked, or the values can be known on saturation curve. So you can refer 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Always you can remember, for a saturation stage, always dry bulb temperature will be equal to wet bulb temperature. Means whatever the values that are there in x-axis, suppose 5 it is there in x-axis, means same thing it will be there on the saturation curve, that is 5. If it is like 25 it is there in dry bulb temperature, same 25 it will be there on saturation curve. Okay. So this is what the wet bulb temperature values you can refer or you can see on saturation curve. If the values are not there in the chart, you can refer corresponding to the vertical lines or corresponding to x-axis dry bulb temperature values, same that vertical line, same values it will be on saturation curve. I think, hope so you can understood. Okay. So saturation line. So I told you saturation line, the orange color, it is called a saturation line. So there is dry bulb temperature vertical line, and there is a horizontal lines will be there. Okay. The horizontal lines, otherwise it is called as the absolute humidity lines or humidity lines, W. W you can refer on, or whatever the values that are there, W values, it will be on right hand side of y axis. Right hand side of y axis. Okay. Now if I want like wet bulb temperature value, suppose for example the dry bulb temperature has given 20 and specific humidity has given something around 12. So corresponding to 20 and 12, okay, where exactly these two line meets on saturation curve, that value will be wet bulb temperature. Okay. So while solving problems, I'll try to explain in detail. So this is saturation line. Then one lines will be relative humidity lines. Okay. So continuous curve lines 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 up to 100%. These are called as relative humidity lines. In calculation we have seen pi is equal to PV by PS. Okay. So that is by calculation we have found. So same thing directly we can obtain from chart pi. So these are called as relative humidity lines. So there is one more line, enthalpy values. I think in calculation we have seen one equation, H is equal to 1.005, that is a dry bulb temperature plus W into 2500 plus 1.88 into dry bulb temperature. We have seen that equation. Instead of like doing that by calculation, directly H value can be obtained directly from psychrometric chart. So enthalpy values corresponding, remember this very important. So enthalpy values can be seen only with reference to wet bulb temperature lines. So wet bulb temperature dotted lines it is there. So corresponding to wet bulb temperature lines only we have to see enthalpy lines. This, try to remember this very important part. I'll repeat, if I want enthalpy values, so corresponding to wet bulb temperature lines only we have to refer. Fine. Specific volume lines. So if I want V, so in calculations we have seen PAVA is equal to, in previous problem, PAVA is equal to RATS. So from that I have found specific volume. So specific volume directly we can obtain from this chart. Okay. So dew point temperature lines. So if I want dew point temperature lines, dew point values, dew point temperature, that is, in previous slide we have seen partial pressure corresponding to partial pressure of water vapor, what is my dew point. So directly from chart we can refer. On the saturation curve we can refer that values, or on the saturation curve only we will get that dew point temperature lines. There is some horizontal line, that horizontal lines says it is specific humidity lines. So corresponding to horizontal only we have to refer dew point temperature lines. Fine. So what are the various psychrometric processes? So before solving the problem, we need to understand the processes. Okay, how exactly the process will take place. Okay, so what is sensible heating, sensible cooling, what is humidification, dehumidification, adiabatic humidification, mixing of air streams. Let us know one by one. So if you know this, you can solve the problem. So how exactly the process will take place? Psychrometric process. So one is called a sensible heating. Example, you can see that there is one coil will be there. In that coil, steam will be flowing because steam temperature will be very high. So steam will be flowing. That is called as heating coil. If I say heating coil, steam will be flowing. So if air enters from one side, that is called as dry bulb temperature 1. So air outlet, dry bulb temperature 2. Then heating coil temperature will be dry bulb temperature 3. So TD1, TD2, TD3. So what is exactly sensible heating? Heating of air without a change in its specific humidity. So these applications which will come in winter air conditioning system. So if I want to keep the room as warm, okay, so this heating process has to be followed. This is called as something about process. Okay, so heating of air without changing its specific humidity. So warm temperature have to maintain in winter conditions. So this process is helpful. Okay, so if I go to psychrometric chart, so means dry bulb temperature goes on increases from TD1 to TD3. So suppose for example 20 degrees Celsius. So when I go on heating, dry bulb temperature goes on increases. TD1 will be TD1, TD2, TD3. So like that corresponding to pi 1 values, corresponding to relative humidity values. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 is the process. W1 is equal to W2. So no change in specific humidity. So corresponding to that, H1, H2 we can refer. So corresponding to those dotted lines will be corresponding to wet bulb temperature lines we have to refer. So I'm going to get, if TD1 is known to me, TD2 is known to me, TD3 is known to me. If pi A1 is known to me, pi 2 is known to me, pi 3 is known to me. Okay, then we can refer enthalpy values. So that is regarding psychrometric chart. So process is known to me, steam flows. Okay, we are getting hot air. That is what exactly this process. So on psychrometric chart, how exactly this will be provided. So therefore heat added is equal to H2 minus H1, because H2 will be greater, because dry bulb temperature will be greater. H2 minus H1 we have to take it. This is sensible heating. Same thing if I go for sensible cooling. So cooling of air without changing its specific humidity. Okay, so application is in summer air conditioning system. We can follow this process. In summer I want cool air. Okay, I want to maintain room as cool. So this process will try to come into picture. Okay, so therefore, so I had to use refrigerant. So refrigerant will be flowing. So if I use refrigerant, that will be cooling coil because cool air has to be passed. So air in will be TD1, air out will be TD2, then cooling coil temperature will be TD3. So this is process. So if I obtain chart, psychrometric chart, so dry bulb temperature goes on increases from 1 to 3. Okay, so TD1, TD2, then again dry bulb temperature goes on decreases. In previous slide we have seen dry bulb temperature goes on increases. So therefore dry bulb temperature in cooling process it will be reduced because I have to remove the high temperature, then I have to kept cool. So in summer condition, this type of sensible cooling, the process can be followed. Next, what is bypass factor? See, in previous slide we have seen the cooling coil temperature TD3 and air outlet temperature TD2 must be equal. I'll repeat. Whatever the cooling coil temperature TD3 and TD2, that must be equal because outlet and cooling temperature both should be equal, but it is not so because it is inefficiency of the cooling coil. So in order to obtain that inefficiency of the cooling coil, there is one factor has to be obtained that is called as bypass factor. So cooling coil, the temperature of air coming out of the apparatus TD2. Okay, so TD3 is coil temperature, TD1 is inlet temperature, must be equal to TD3, but it is not so because of inefficiency of the cooling coil. Therefore, bypass factor can be obtained as TD2 minus TD3 divided by TD1 minus TD3. This is called as something about bypass factor. Whereas for heating coil, bypass factor can be written as TD3 minus TD2 divided by TD3 minus TD1. Okay, so this is in case of heating process. So efficiency can be obtained as heating 1 minus bypass factor, efficiency of cooling can be obtained as 1 minus bypass factor. Then the third process, it says it is humidification. What do you mean by humidification? Adding of moisture to the air without changing its dry bulb temperature. So adding of moisture to the air without changing its dry bulb temperature, it is called as humidification. So to add the moisture to the atmospheric air, it will become a humidification process. So especially in case of like winter air conditioning system, winter air conditioning system, I have to add the moisture. So humidification, specific humidity goes on increases from 1 to 2, whereas dry bulb temperature remains constant. dB1 is equal to dB2, whereas W1 goes on increases. So dehumidification, removal of moisture from the air without changing its dry bulb temperature. Moisture has to be removed. Okay. So therefore, specific humidity goes on decreases. So 1 to 2. This is called as difference between humidification and dehumidification. So next process talks about cooling and dehumidification. This process is used in summer air conditioning system to cool and dehumidify the air. Okay. So first a red color line, it is cooling process. Then the black color line 2 to 3 indicates it is dehumidification. Either you can do dehumidify first or you can do cooling first. Okay, that is what exactly cooling and dehumidification. So this type of process can be used in the air conditioning system, where exactly the high temperature has to be removed. Dehumidify means removal of moisture has to be done. Then adding cool air inside the chamber or inside the room. Okay, so cooling 1 to 2, then 2 to 3 indicates it is dehumidification. This is called as cooling and dehumidification process. So heating and humidification, so used in winter air conditioning system to heat the air or to keep the warm air. So you can refer 1 to 2 is called as cooling process. Then 2 to 3 is called as humidification process, adding the moisture to the atmospheric air. It is used in case of where exactly if I add moisture to the atmospheric air, the temperature goes on increases. Okay, so therefore 1 to 2 is cooling process, 2 to 3 is the humidification process. These are the different the psychrometric processes where exactly, okay, in order to study different properties of psychrometric properties by using chart, we have to follow this process. Thank you students for your attention. Hope so we'll meet in next class. Thank you.